What's up, everybody? Hope y'all having a good day today. You know, for the first time last night, I went and ate at Buffalo Wild Wings, and call me stupid, call me crazy, idiot, naive, but for some reason, I thought that Buffalo Wild Wings only served wings. Yeah. I don't know why I thought that. I had to go look up the menu before we went because I was like, I don't care for chicken wings too much. You know, call me a traitor for that one too, but I just, you know, I'll eat them, sure, but, you know, is it my first pick? No, not my first pick. Not even close. Pizza, for me, is always the go-to food. It's my favorite food group. But aside from that, you know, leave a comment if you think that was kind of stupid. Anyway, let's get into this news. This one is kind of, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit arrogant for them to write this. It's kind of an interesting thing, and let's get into it. It says, headline: these candidates in Virginia could shape how both parties talk about abortion in 2024. Wow, so they think that these two candidates are going to shape how abortion is talked about. That's kind of crazy. The new epicenter of America's fight over abortion rights in Henrico County, Virginia, where candidates in bellwether state elections this fall are staking out positions that could test how both parties will try to appeal to moderate voters in 2024. They don't want abortion illegal, GOP State Senator Donovan said of Virginia voters last weekend. Sipping coffee as a heavy downpour ruined her plans for knocking on doors in this Richmond suburb. She says, they want a woman to have a reasonable amount of time to figure out what she needs to do, she added before explaining why she supports restricting access to abortion in the third trimester. Anybody who thinks that aborting a baby in the third trimester is okay, you need some education on how far along that baby is developed in the third trimester. It's my position that definitely if the baby can survive outside of the womb, which they've been known to do at 5-6 months, why kill it? There's no logical reason for that. Anything past that, earlier, in other words, you may have a logical reason for doing so, but you can't really give me a moral reason at that point. So at least the third trimester, we shouldn't even be discussing that. To me, it's just crazy, and I think it's all about wording. How do we get our language around abortion better? Because that's something the Democrats seem to do. They seem to make people think that it's okay, we're just killing a fetus. You're killing a human. But let's keep going. That's not typically how Republican politicians broach the topic. But in Donovan, an OBGYN is airing a 60-second TV ad in which she speaks directly to the camera about her abortion position, namely that it should be legal up to 15 weeks with some exceptions. Now, the only exceptions I can see for is if the baby dies while it's still inside the womb. Like I said before, if it can survive outside the womb, why kill it? There's no good reason that you could ever explain to me. Trust me, I've heard all the positions. You bring me something new that makes logical sense, I might change my mind. Earlier in the day, before the skies opened up, Senator Schuyler Van Valkenburg, Donovan's Democratic opponent in this competitive state Senate district, told a backyard rally that his campaign had hoped to focus on lowering the cost of living and improving education. But Donovan and GOP Governor Glenn Youngkin, he said, had turned the election into something else. My opponent, the governor, launched these campaigns with a proposal to take away people's rights, Van Valkenburg said, using language Democrats have often successfully deployed since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade last year. That was a big one right there. You call it a win for Republicans. They think that's a win for Republicans, but really it's not. It's a win for states' rights, which I have a big problem with federal government forcing states to do something. I believe that the states should be able to implement pretty much any law they want to. Federal government overreach, in my eyes, goes way too far. But, Democrats lost their shit on this one. They really did. They really didn't understand what Roe v. Wade was. All it does is give the states rights to say you can have an abortion or you can't have an abortion. And that's exactly what they did. You now have some states that you can abort up to birth. That, to me, is nuts. Should be illegal. But, that's the world we live in. While many GOP-led states have toughened abortion restrictions since the fall of Roe v. Wade, Virginia, with its split legislature, is the only southern state that hasn't. Hang on. They consider Virginia a southern state? I'm sorry. That's another issue. Virginia's not a southern state. No. It's just not. If you look at the United States, Virginia is much closer to the northern section than it is to the southern section. It's more of a middle state, but it's still closer to the north than the south. But I'm not going to get caught up on that. So let's keep going. And on post-Roe ballot initiatives across the country, voters have sided with the abortion rights position, even in traditionally red states. That's just crazy. The fall of legislative races in Virginia will be the first major candidate versus candidate contest to spotlight the abortion issue since last year's midterms. Every seat in both the GOP-led state House and the Democratic-controlled state Senate is up for election. There's not like a referendum question on the ballot, but it is on the ballot. Virginia Senator Tim Kaine said in an interview Saturday after the backyard rally, which was hosted by the mother of Democratic Rep. Abigail Spanberger, who represented the area for 2 terms prior to redistricting. Spanberger's 2018 victory in what had long been a GOP-dominated district highlighted the suburban's area move away from Republicans under Donald Trump, which is weird. Kaine and his Democratic colleague Senator Mark Warren have been trying to convince donors who were engaged in other states' abortion-related ballot measures to step into Virginia, which backed Joe Biden by 10 points in 2020 and then voted for Youngkin by 2 points the following year. At the senator's urging, Biden recently directed the Democratic National Committee to send $1.2 million for party campaign operations in Virginia. But that's dwarfed by the $12 million Youngkin's Political Action Committee raised in the 6 months from March to August this year. Why are we spending so much money on these races? That's something else I don't understand. Why do they put so much freaking money into elections? That should be illegal. That would actually be something I support, a federal cap on putting so much money into some of these elections. It's just so ridiculous how much money is spent to get you voted into office. It breeds corruption. I'm sorry. Anything that breeds corruption, in my view, should be eliminated. But let's keep going. The stakes in November are high for Youngkin, whose political ambitions likely rest on whether his party can win full control of Virginia government, and for 2024 candidates trying to figure out how to talk about abortion. Donovan's staff had warned her Saturday that a storm was on the way and her door-knocking plans might be in jeopardy, but she was having trouble getting away from the Festival of India at the Greater Richmond Convention Center. Seemingly every third person wanted to greet Donovan, who was quick to give a hug or take a photo. Okay, the rest of this just seems like blah, 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 blah bullshit. But it's crazy. The Democrats have got these talking points around abortion worked out to a T. And they have seemingly convinced a lot of people in America that, yeah, sure, it's okay to kill babies. The only problem is when you come up to these people and you say, hey, you're in favor of murdering babies, they get pissed off. And that right there shows you that they're not okay with murdering babies, that somehow they've been lulled into this position and they don't realize how immoral it seems. It's just crazy how the Democrats can manipulate something so much and make it seem like it's okay. They do that with a lot of things. They're doing that really hard right now with this gender ideology bullshit. I'm sorry. There are only two genders. A boy cannot become a girl, and a girl cannot become a boy. Sorry to break that to anybody, but it's just the doggone truth. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can scream all day long at anybody. You can scream at me. You can scream, like I said, at anybody. All the screaming in the world is not going to change facts. You need to get with the facts. You need to come correct, get your mind right, and realize what you have actually set as a belief. I'm sorry. Logic doesn't care about emotion whatsoever. But that's all I got for this one, y'all. I want to thank everybody for watching, and hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed, which, like I say in all of these, you probably are subscribed because YouTube has basically given me the finger, said fuck you. But I have started another channel. I might be linking it in the description. I'm not sure yet. I am posting every single video to that channel as well. I'm trying to get it to grow while I'm still working on this channel, because I haven't quite given up on this channel yet. There may be hope for it. I don't know how they can just keep my channel turned off, but they seem to be doing it, and I'm very persistent, so I'm gonna keep going. But thanks for watching, everybody. Y'all have a good one, and be positive. Peace.